I will admit, it is a little sad. So here's my truck in real estate, all buttoned up, ready to go to the recycle center today. You can see inside the cab, it's all loaded up with stuff as well too. It's pretty filthy, it's pretty dirty. But hey, there's two other nice cars here in the driveway and a nice house. And I'll tell you what's sad. It's sad that nobody wants to work. I just find it sad. I mean, work is how you get fun cars. Work is how you get a truck that you're just happy to drive around and hammer down and do work with. A work truck. Work. So, realtors are asking me, hey Brian, how can I possibly do what you do? And I spend time with each of them. Hi Robin, there's Robin. I spend time with each of them, helping them. Here's what I do. Hopefully it doesn't come from Ron flying at me here. But that's what I do. I help people. So I get up every day and go to work. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm gonna go to the recycle yard. I got another project starting in Amherstburg. I got a project finishing up in Kingsville. It's how I afford nice things. It's how I'm gonna end up retiring. It's how I save money. It's how I build money up in my wealth management practice. It's how I paid off my house. Going to work. Working. It's all that I know to do. That's why my arms are sore, my hands are sore. Last night, my hands were just throbbing with my arthritis. But what I just find sad is that, in the real estate business, these are called systems. They're processes which get people to call me and say, hey, I'm told that you do this. And I respond, of course I do that. And then people say, can you help me? Of course I can help you. Be happy to help you. And I have 2 more systems that I want to get launched this year. But to be honest with you, system number 1 keeps me kind of freaking busy. So for the month of April, and I'm not bragging at all, this is for realtors specifically. For the month of April, I billed $40,000. $40,000 a month, $10,000 a week. By going to work. It's how I bought a $40,000 car and paid it off. It's like, I can buy a $40,000 car because that's 1 month's commission checks. So I don't know what next month brings. It's now May. I know what May so far is bringing. I have this project in Amherstburg to have to do. I know that I'll sell that house and I'll know that that's an $11,500 check. And then I know I have a project on Lillian and I know I'm going to sell that house. And I know that that's going to be a $9,500 check. Just my half of them. I don't know if I'm going to double end them or not. That would be good. But try. Going to work my butt off to try. But that's 20. 9 and 11 is 20. I don't know how many more times my phone's going to ring. I know that I'm waiting for projects. 1 in the county. That's an $18,000 project. I know I'm waiting for a project on Woodland or Woodlawn. That's a $9,200 project. I know I'm waiting for a project on Westminster. That's a $15,000 project. I know I'm waiting on those. Those will probably come in June, so I'm just going to do what I need to do here in May. And in my free time, I'm going to be launching the other systems. to get my phone to ring. Hey, you talked about this. I want to know more. And I don't get it. I just don't. Realtors here I've reached out to, and I've said, hey, I really need help. There's things I want to invest in. There's things I want to do. To be able to help you be a realtor. As long as you want to work. Oh, Brian. You just said something. Work. What you talking about, Willis? We don't work. Okay, I guess that I'll just have to do this stuff on my own and have to hire it. But then when I hire it, the challenge is finding people to work. I am blessed that Trevor and Terry helped me for 4 hours in Kingsville on Saturday, I think it was. And that we hammered down for those 4 hours and got a lot of stuff done. And then it was just a matter of me going back in and finishing up. And Kingsville, I just have a little bit, maybe another hour and a half, 2 hours out there. And that'll be done. I was there yesterday for a good 7 hours, finishing it up. Another 2 hours and it'll be done. It's a lot of work. My hands are just throbbing. They just are. But hey, I'm not dead. I should go to work. So I've reached out to realtors here and said, hey, I really do need some help. I'd really like to train you on the system. Oh, systems? What are you talking about? Systems? I just want to be a realtor, Brian. Okay, yeah, but you need systems to get your phone to ring. Without systems, your phone won't ring. So I just sit there and say, hey, here's what I'd like to... Oh, no, Brian, that's work. I didn't know you wanted to talk about work. I just want to go out and take photos and pet my poodle and drive around my Rolls-Royce convertible because that's supposedly what realtors do. They don't go to work. I left work to become a realtor. I didn't want to have to go to work. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. So I'm growing it organically. Trevor's supposed to want to take his real estate classes, and I'm not pushing. I keep saying, hey, it has to be on your schedule. But to be honest with you, I'm like, maybe I should push a little bit. I just suck at that. I suck at pushing. Just go to work. There's plenty of work. So all you got to do is want to go. And the rest takes care of itself. It's how everything else happens is going to work. So then I have another guy who's taking his real estate classes. He's taken the one class already. He's up in, I'm going to use this as an example of something too in a different video. So he's up in an area around Toronto. And they're moving to Windsor. And he's taken his first class. He's like, I want to be a realtor, Brian. I'm like, oh, I need all the help I can get down here. What do you mean? Well, I need somebody that wants to go to work. Oh, I like working, Brian. Oh, maybe you're the right guy for me then. Can you be loyal? Sure, I can be loyal too, Brian. Okay. Maybe that works. Because I'd like to do $100,000 a month in revenue and share that with somebody else. That'd be great. Oh, that's what a team is, or that's what a really successful realtor is supposed to want to do. Find people that want to work. But finding people that want to work is very, very difficult. They don't seem to understand it's, wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and collapse in bed at 11 o'clock at night. It's what work is. It's what I do most of the time. And when there's no work, okay, great, I got to go out and talk to people. I got to go out and kiss babies, shake hands, and say, hey, I need some work. Ready to go to work. Oh, you are, Brian. Wait a second, Brian. I got some work. Oh, great. I don't care what it is in my business units. That's why I structured my business units to be able to do all this work. And to be honest with you, last month was all hands on deck. Every division had some revenue in it last month. That's a successful month. That's why I built it this way. If one thing's a little slow, there's always something going on with the next. It's a good thing. Work. They all fire on the same cylinders on the same month. It's like, woohoo, I'm busy. I got work. And then the money catches up with me too. Yeah, this month, okay, great. Next month, it's going to take me 2 months to get the $40,000 because that's just the way that it works. The houses I'm doing aren't closing until June 14th. So June 14th, I'll pick up checks. And June 17th, I'll be paid. Tell you that right away. It's what we do. And, a lot of realtors don't even pick up their checks. They sit there and say, what do you mean drive out and pick up a check? Why would I want to do that? To speed up your payment process, because getting paid this week is always more important than getting paid next week. If they mail the check, there's no guarantee it's going to get there. Then you're going to have to wait a month to get paid for the work that you've done. Oh, but I don't really do any work, so I guess I don't worry about getting paid. I guess that's what some realtors think. I don't know. It seems really, really weird to me, but maybe that's my ADHD. I ran into a kind guy yesterday out in Kingsville. He was dumpster diving in my dumpster I have out there. And I said, excuse me, sir, how can I help you? Can we go in the house and you can pick out some items that are going to go into the dumpster anyway so that they don't go into the dumpster, and that way you don't have to dive for them. You can just take them. It's like, really? I said, yeah, I'll go in and I'll point out the stuff that's still in the house that's going to the dumpster, and if you want it, then it's going to save me from having to put it in the dumpster and for you to have to dive in there. Really? Yeah. I've never met anybody like you. I said, I want to help you, sir. And he had his own problems, some addiction problems. COVID crushed him like a bug. He was doing fine before COVID. He was a truck driver before COVID. And then all of a sudden, COVID happened and all the truck stops shut down and he lost his job. And then the government was paying him $2,000 to do nothing. And he's like, well, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, sitting here doing nothing for $2,000. Then he started taking up the bottle. He was an alcoholic before. He had gotten himself clean. And COVID happened. The government started paying people free money. Here, stay home, do nothing, and we'll pay you. I was out there going to work every day. It's the only one out there on the freeway. It's like, what the heck? Where the hell is everybody? This is great, because I was, of course, one of those workers that could be out there doing my thing. And I was out there doing my thing. Trying to stay away from COVID as best as I could, but I still got it twice. And both times I got it, it wasn't because I was working. So, anyway, I'll get off my high horse about the concept of work. I'll happily take all the work I can get. The other fun thing that I just... The project in Kingsville that I just finished up, and I double-ended Kingsville. I took that away from a different realtor who was just going to sell the real estate. I stepped in and I said, hey, I'll manage the entire project. And the gentleman that was in control of the project looked at me and he said, really? I said, yeah. For the same commission check, I'll handle everything. Really? Yeah, because I like working. You'll clean out the house? Yeah. You find a cleaning company? Yeah. Really? Yeah. I like working. Could use some work. Oh, okay. We're going to use a different realtor that wasn't going to do any of that work. But if you want to do the work, okay, fine, go ahead. They were a little bit miffed at me at first because they felt I wasn't working for them, but what they had forgotten about was that I had double-ended the house like he asked me to. He said, "Will you sell the house?" And I'm like, "Well, usually we don't do that in Canada." He's an American. And he said, "Well, I really, want to find a lawyer, a realtor that's going to, do both ends." I said, "Well, I don't know if I'll do both ends or not." But at the estate sale, I found the buyer, as it turns out, and then his house needed work. Again, that word. To be able to get it organized because I needed to sell his house to get him to be able to move to Kingsville so that I could double end Kingsville and help the client in Kingsville. So I had to focus on Amherstburg. And when I was focusing on Amherstburg, that gentleman in Kingsville said, "Oh, you're focusing over there." I said, "Yeah, because he's the buyer for your house. We've already got the offer signed, and I got to get his house in order. Then I'll be able to turn back because I'm only one person. I'll then be able to turn back to the clean out over here. But the clean out doesn't matter as much because we've now got it sold, and I've just got to lift the condition over on the Amherstburg house. But I'll get to it." And they were 4 or 5 days a little bit fast. Sent me, and Americans tend to be that way as well too. They tend to have a little bit shorter wick than Canadians do. So they sent me an email, we're a little bit upset. Don't know why. I'm working my butt off as fast as I possibly can, and it all came together. They were just a little bit premature in their email. And they admit it. They're like, "Brian, okay, we get it now. We jumped a little bit too fast. I'm thinking that you weren't caring about us, but in reality, you were caring everything about us." That's how it happens in this business anyway. It's like, yeah, I might not be working for you today, but it doesn't mean I'm not working for you today. It's just I'm working for you in a different way. It's just like closes, real estate closes. My God, they're a hell of a lot of work. The 2 closes I had last week, both of them were off the rails. I had to keep them on the rails. I had to put them on the rails, and I had to keep them on the rails. They're both closed. Oh! Actually, all 3 of them closed last week. Because there were 3 of them I was in the middle of. They take a lot of work. There's that word again. Work. Jeez. So many people don't want to do it anymore. And I just don't understand. And yeah, I was at breakfast on Sunday, and one of my buddies had said, "Well, hey, Brian, if you're having some problems finding people to want to do the work, then I got this Guatemalan family that lives just around the corner here. They're from Guatemala, and they're here, and they would like to work." I'm like, "Yeah, but are they legal?" "Well, shh, don't tell anyone." I'm like, I can't do that. Just can't do it. Runs counter to everything that I know. "Well, you're no fun, Brian. These folks want to work. You're having problems finding people to work." It's okay. I'll just hang out. Eventually somebody will come my way that wants to work. Trevor wants to work. He just has to get his butt in gear and realize, hey, I want to do this. And, there's a lot of different things that carrot over here, carrot. And he's got to be 22. He's got to make those decisions for himself. It's all okay. It might not be the right thing for him. I don't know. He's got to find that out. I'm not the one to push that. But the other gentleman that's moving here from up the Toronto area, it's the right thing for him to do. He's already taken the classes. He's already started the classes. He already wants to be a realtor. They're moving to Windsor. All the right reasons. He's a good guy. Should be a good fit. He likes to work. That might help too. Might be that solution. So I'll get off my high horse, my working horse. I just shot this quick 20-minute video just to point out to you that We work. It's how you are a realtor. You got to go to work. If you want to do $40,000 a month, you got to go to work. If you want to do an $8,000 a month, you don't really have to go to work. Just find one person that wants to sell their house or one buyer. That's all you need. It's easy to find one. It's harder and harder and harder to find 3, 4, 5. And to have something in your chute that's in the process of coming together. What's going to happen in May? What's going to happen in June? What's going to happen in July? What's going to happen in August? Yeah, sure, I'm going to be on vacation a little bit in July and August. Going to New York City to ring the bell to the New York Stock Exchange. That's the first week in August, or first week in July. Going to go down to the reflecting pond and just stand there for a while as well too. Going to have a couple of nice meals in New York. Then I'll be back out of New York, back to work. Then in August we go camping. Then I'll be back here to go to work. Then in August we go camping. Be back here to go to work. In August we go camping. Be back here to go to work. I might go down and visit my sister. Might do that. I'll go back to work. September, there's not a whole lot going on. I might have to go to Las Vegas for a seminar thingy. October, not a whole lot going on, so I'll be working. Then in November at Thanksgiving time, when everybody else is going and having a turkey, I end up flying away. And in this year, they just announced it. Next week, I'll be buying the tickets to go to the Bahamas, Bermuda, Bahamas, specifically for another seminar, another business trip to go celebrate and relax and let people pamper me for a little while. It's an all-inclusive type of thing. Hey, you just give us $1,500, Brian, and we take care of the rest. We'll keep a drink in your hand. We'll keep a cigar in your mouth. We'll keep food in your tummy, whatever you want for that time down in the Bermuda, Bahamas. That's where I go and celebrate a little bit. That's the one thing I do every year to celebrate hard work. Go on that trip. So anyway, I'll get off my high horse about the concept of work. I got work to do. So I'm finishing up packaging in my car business here today. Fell a little bit behind with that, but now I'm all caught back up. I just got one more package to have to do, then have some lunch, go to the post office. That's work. Then I'll go to Amherstburg, and the dumpster's being delivered out in Amherstburg today. So I'll do some work out there, getting that house ready to list. And then tomorrow, I got Trevor for an hour and a half tomorrow, because we got to go over to Riverside Drive and get some heavy furniture out of that house into the can, so I get the can sent to the auction house so I can get that stuff done. But that, again, that's work. So then Wednesday, you know what I'll be doing? Working. Be back out in Amherstburg again, clearing that house out, filling my truck again with more recycle, jamming stuff inside the cab of it because it's a work truck. Work. I think that's what I'm going to title this video as well too. Work. It's how money comes into a pocketbook. Work. And yeah, I'm a little scared, I will admit, as I'm working hard now, and because I'm working more and more and more, doing my thing, more and more people are calling me, and then suddenly there's more money piling up, and because there's more money piling up, then I have more work to have to do because I have to incorporate to keep taxes low. And then the other problem I have too is that as this money's piling up, it's going into my wealth management firm and it's earning money. Then that money gets paid back to me some every month. So I was worrying that as money piled up, I'd start to get lazy. And I can tell you that there is absolutely nothing lazy about me. Just don't know lazy. I'd like to lay around and do some Z's right now. I really would, because my body hurts. Because I've been working. But I figure if I keep working, then eventually my body won't hurt because it'll be built up to be able to keep this pace going. So I'll go back to work. Thanks for watching. One of the struggles I have as a realtor is just finding people that want to work. They just don't understand it. It's like systems. What are you talking about, Brian? Systems. I just want to be a realtor. Okay, well, you're going to need systems. You're going to need real estate systems. If you own a convenience store, you have to have systems in place to get people to come into your convenience store. They don't just magically show up and walk in the door and say, "Ooh, gee, I need a pack of Reese's peanut butter cups." You got to be advertising for it. That's a system. Hey, I have this system that draws people's attention to me so that they come into my convenience store, because they can go to any convenience store. I want them to come in my convenience store. I need systems to be able to do that. Processes. That kind of stuff. So the systems of cleaning out a house are very, very simple. And yeah, there's a lot of pitfalls to the systems too, because you're asking people again to do some work. You're asking people to do some things for you, and sometimes that's very, very difficult. I do have some struggles in this whole clean out business, because there's some weak links, and you can't be too strong to the weak links, because then they get mad at you. How dare you talk to me that way, Brian? How dare you point out that we don't like to work? How dare you point out the weaknesses in our systems? Maybe it's better if you just don't work with us then any longer. It's one of the challenges when you point stuff out to people too. You have to be very, very cautious about that anymore in this world post-COVID. Hey, can I help your business? Can I point out to you the things that your business isn't capable of doing that my business needs your business to be able to do, and you're supposed to be doing that in your business, but you've lost track? And a lot of times people don't want to hear that either. How dare you? It's just, it's a funky place that we're in right now. And I say, maybe I need to build it all on my own, but I can't. I'm only one person. And there's only so much work my truck can do. So, to be honest with you, if you're doing $40,000 months, you don't really need too much more work, because it's a pretty comfortable thing. And I'll leave you with that as well too. If you're a realtor watching this and you're like, I want to go to work, and you're here in the Windsor market, somewhere in the Windsor market, I don't care if you're in Leamington, I don't care if you're in Wheatley, I don't care if you're in Chatham, I don't care where the hell you're at, I can put you to work. We can do this where you're at too. I mean, if I'm already out in Tilbury, if I'm already out in Kingsville, if I'm already out in Amherstburg, I'm pretty much everywhere you already are too, if you're watching this. And they need this in your market. You're up in, say, Kingston watching this. I can help. You just have to want to go to work. So thanks for watching. This is Brian, 519-995-6145, 519-995-6145. I'm going to go in, finish up my packaging, get over to the post office, have some lunch, and get out to Amherstburg to go to work. Have a great day. Bye-bye.